A suspended AEW star breaks their silence, plus an NXT star apologizes for an offensive t-shirt, and we have the truth about that alleged CM Punk backstage incident. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. Sammy Guevara posted a new video blog last night. He was off to a convention. He was hanging out with his wife and his child, buying toys. He was trying to get somebody to buy his ticket for this scary ride at a carnival, so no one could sort of go on it instead. But at the very end, he posted a message that sort of breaks the silence on his current absence from AEW. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Thanks for watching, and to the people who support me, whether it be from the beginning or in the middle, or maybe this is your first video you've watched of mine, I just wanted to say thank you. I understand that I am a person who has made mistakes, but I'm also a person who has tried to be better. Roll with the punches is a saying that I truly understand now at 30 years old. Life will throw a lot at you, but it is how you deal with those adversities that makes you who you are. I know who I am, and I know what I'm going after. I'll see you at the top."
Interesting. So this is the first we've really officially heard of Sammy since his suspension, which was reportedly over the whole Jeff Hardy incident, when he was told to just pin him after there was an injury in the match, and apparently instead he went against that and hit his finisher instead. What do you make of it?
I think it suggests that he has plans on coming back. Mm-hmm. I would still say very much part of the AEW story still. Mm-hmm. Nothing there that suggests to me that he might not be. Yeah. And to me, it also, he seems quite chill. Yeah. Being suspended. You know, he seems like he's having quite a nice time on suspension, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose so. He didn't say anything like particularly inflammatory there, did he? He wasn't trying, and it doesn't seem like it was when somebody, and often it can work really well, but when somebody tries to use a real life situation for a storyline, but it doesn't seem like he's doing that at all. It does seem quite genuine, doesn't it?
It does. One we'll definitely keep an eye on. Now, last night on NXT, we saw Brooks Jensen. He caught some unwanted attention from people online. He was wearing an Ole Anderson t-shirt. Now, Anderson passed away last month. He had quite a well-documented history of racist allegations during his time in wrestling. Quite a few stories were shared. Before we get into what Brooks has said in the response to this, I think it's worth putting in sort of perspective why that sentiment was there about Ole Anderson.
Yeah, many have shared stories in the past of Ole openly using racial epithets backstage. There's been interviews with wrestling legends such as Teddy Long and Ken Patera who've shared stories of backstage arguments between Ole Anderson and the likes of Thunderbolt Patterson, Tony Atlas and Big Cat Ernie Ladd. During these arguments, Ole would apparently go on racially fueled rants that in today's world would just be absolutely unthinkable. So that's kind of the context there, because I remember Brooks wore this t-shirt last week and nobody really said anything, so I don't know if it's just caught the attention of people more 2 weeks in a row, perhaps?
Possibly, maybe, yeah. So Brooks, who was merely wanting to show respect to Ole Anderson, shared an apology on Twitter last night after a few people mentioned it. He said, "I will never support any racism, hate or bullying. While I respected Ole for his wrestling, it was news to me after wearing the t-shirt that he was associated with these allegations. I've noticed my looks and where I'm from frequently stigmatized with the underbelly of our society, i.e. racist. But this mullet just likes to give love and party. My apologies to anyone who knew the allegations prior and were offended by the shirt. I'm learning, and this was noted."
I think that's genuine from Brooks Jensen, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
It seems very genuine, and it seems very well worded. And I've not seen him in many things outside of off-screen, like interviews and that sort of stuff. But I think he's just kind of he's very young and up and coming. And I reckon he just genuinely was trying to pay tribute to Ole Anderson. I don't know, obviously, but it just seems very much there like he's coming across well, and he genuinely feels bad if indeed anybody was offended by this. So.
The general comments behind it were, there was a mixed bag of people going, "You didn't need to apologise," and there was a few people that went, "I appreciate you coming out and saying that." So there was a mixed bag from people.
I get the point. I get that if there was no malicious intent behind it, then why should he apologise? But I think he's done done the right thing there and just covered the bases and gone, you know what? No, I should say this. I should say I do stand up for what's right, and sorry for any misunderstanding. And I think that's totally fair from Brooks. Good on him.
That's what you say. Cover the bases. Exactly. It's what it is, isn't it? Cover the. Yes, that's it, isn't it?
Well, I suppose just
no. You're right, because it's saying if you don't feel that way, you don't want people to think that you feel that way.
And he makes a very interesting point about himself potentially being, just because he's got a southern accent, he looks very southern, like southern states of America. He wants to make it very clear, just because I'm from there, where historically there's been a lot of racial tension over the decades. He said, no, I don't feel that way at all. I think that's fair enough.
If there was ever any doubt, by the way, about William Regal's future plans for NXT, they have been scrubbed, because William Regal is now officially back on the active roster page.
Very interesting. And this coincides with a time when he's become obviously more of an on-screen presence. He cut that promo with his son, Charlie Dempsey, and the crowd went, "That's your father," which is, you know... Fee-fi-fo-fo. Subtitles in brackets, William Regal noises. Yes, he's now, as Tom said, officially been added back to the active roster page. So far, he's obviously helped Ava secure her job as GM on screen and possibly off screen as well, who knows, and has had crosswords with Charlie Dempsey, teasing a possible allegiance between the two, or maybe a rivalry, Tom.
Oh,
yeah.
A Regal forms a club that specialise in combat.
Well, yes, possibly. Where would we have heard that before?
Oh.
How would HT Drake? Oh, I've just used his. Anyway, HT Drake.
HT Drake. Big shout to HT Drake.
He once hit me with a European uppercut to show me what it's like.
Oh, how that work out for you?
It was in the car park.
As all good fights are.
Yes, and it didn't hurt, but it was uncomfortable. Like, my head got thrown back, and I thought, oh no. So. Yeah, I wouldn't take too many of those, but these Regal boys would, certainly.
So have we both taken a bit of a shoe-in from HT Drake?
Mine was just one move, Tom, so I think I've got off lightly there compared to you.
Mine was a lovely code breaker. It's on the internet if you want to find it. Now, staying with NXT, the Wolf Dogs. Thank God they're not called... What was there? They had another name, didn't they?
Spear in Our Glory?
Spear of Days or something.
Spear of Days, Spear in Our Glory. I'm mixed up.
Spear in Our Glory.
You see what my brain's done there? It was another tag team name that was kind of mashed together between Swerve and Keith Lee. And that's what Spear of Days was. And I'm glad they're the Wolf Dogs as well, Tom.
And they will... they will defend the NXT tag titles against the winners of the tournament currently taking place on NXT. But there is a twist, Jack.
There is a twist indeed, because Otis and Akira Tozawa of Alpha Academy will be on NXT next week facing the Wolf Dogs. If Alpha Academy wins, they'll be added to the NXT Tag Team title match at Stand and Deliver on April 6th as well. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but it wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world. I just can't see which one of those two guys, either Otis or Tozawa, would pin.
Who says they have to pin?
It could be a count out. It could be a DQ. You're not new to this wrestling game. I agree now.
This ain't my first rodeo.
It'll be some sort of flub finish, and we'll see. Yeah, I agree. I
think it's to give Tozawa and Otis something to do at WrestleMania week.
Yeah, you can't not have those boys on the show. They're just too good. Their vibes are too good.
Yeah, we need some good vibes during WrestleMania week from Otis and Akira Tozawa.
Yes.
Also last night, we had a title match added to NXT Stand and Deliver. Roxanne Perez will challenge Lyra Valkyria for the NXT Women's title. Perez was the one that first demanded the match. Then Valkyria came out and they had a fight. And due to some unintentional distraction by Tatum Paxley, oh, you silly bean, it led to Lyra getting laid out by Roxanne, and then later Lyra saying, "Give me the match against Roxanne Perez, Ava, you coward."
That is one of the new matches confirmed for Stand and Deliver. Also on the card, we've already mentioned the War Dogs defending the NXT Tag Team titles against some combination of teams that we don't yet know. Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes, which is a big grudge match, of course. And the NXT Championship, Ilya Dragunov defending against, Tony D'Angelo. And I think a possible theme here that I'm quite scared of happening is double crosses, Tom. Could Tatum Paxley turn on Lyra Valkyria? Could Stax turn on Tony D? I know, he's meant to be loyal, but you never know.
What a horrible thing. I tell you what, my best friend Jeff Jarrett turned on me last night. I'm so upset.
Yes.
Mind my own business, listen to my world. As you do on an evening, had a nice bubble bath on, lovely. And there he is, there's Jeff Jarrett and Conrad. Apparently they're coming here. That's the latest development, they're coming here apparently. Jeff likes the idea of coming onto the Cultaholic set and it's to quote Conrad, figure-4ing the SH1T out of me. Not a fan.
I'll be seeing how much annual leave I've got left, and I'll be taking some of that off as and when. I'll be keeping an eye on flights from Tennessee to Newcastle.
Yeah, please do, because I'm now very worried. Go listen to My World if you really want to hear Jeff Jarrett say some very nasty things about me. Not very nice at all. And the staff of BBC Radio Newcastle got a shoe in as well. Well done, everybody.
They're just innocent parties.
Exactly. But regardless of that, there is another bit of beef that we now have to squash or quash, and it is the beef apparently between CM Punk and Booker T.
What's happened here? So initially, obviously, just for a bit of context, Booker T said something along the lines of, I don't want to get into it, and then just said it on his own podcast where he has control over what he says. And he went, I don't want to get into it, but me and CM Punk may have had an argument backstage. Well, he's come out now and sort of clarified this on his latest edition of the podcast, saying, me and CM Punk won't be having a fight. I have no ill will towards CM Punk. Contrary to popular belief, I consider CM Punk a friend, all right? So when I'm saying something about CM Punk, guys, do not take it literally. Don't take it serious. Don't jump into that mud. If you hear me say anything here on the Hall of Fame, this show, it's show related. I'm trying to entertain my fans. I'm trying to entertain the fans that's watching this, trying to give you guys a moment where you ain't got to think about that kind of stuff. So if you hear me say something about CM Punk, Corey Graves, Michael Cole, his co-host Brad, don't jump into any internet mess, all right? Let's just get that out there right now. Did I put it out there? Did I say as far as I had a beef knowing I was going to? Yeah, I said it, but I'm entertaining you guys. Entertain.
So that's what it is. So what he was saying...
No! What?
All cleared up now as far as I'm concerned. Glad that we got to the bottom of that mystery.
It's not cleared up.
No, look, whatever happens on that show is it's just bants.
Right.
It's a bit of laughs. Don't take it seriously.
But I've seen and heard clips of Booker T's show where he's like giving his real, genuine opinions on things in wrestling.
All for entertainment.
It's all for
everything.
If I say anything on my show, it's all...
Just, as all of this is entertainment. So I know for a fact, 100%, that Booker T has an extensive collection of mugs. Like the greatest mug collection that you've ever seen. He's got hundreds and hundreds of mugs in his... It takes up too much of the house, to be fair. Charmel is livid. Yeah. She wants to turn the back room into like a guest area.
Yeah, she wants to knock that through.
She wants to knock it through. Can't. Too many mugs there. It's just Booker won't get rid of them. So shucky ducky quack quack. I'm not getting rid of those mugs. And look, I'm saying that because this is on our show and it's entertainment. I don't mean it. No. So don't tell Booker T that because it's just entertainment.
It's not, do you know what? It's not even
entertainment.
It's not even the backtracking that I'm annoyed with because fair enough. We've all said
you turn visible from space.
We've all said things that are a mistake and then we've backtracked on them. But I think my issue is that Booker's acting like this is our fault. Where he's gone, yeah, me and CM Punk might have had a bit of an argument backstage. Oh no, not the most hot button topic person in all of wrestling over the past few years for backstage incidents and arguments. And then Booker's gone, oh, I was just joking. Why would you think that? I'm so cross at him. I love you, Booker. I love when you got beaten up in the grocery store and all the great matches you had, and I loved when you took that stunner and got eliminated from the Rumble. That was really surprisingly slick for a stunner elimination. I couldn't believe he did it so well. But this is a bridge too far for me.
Not since the days where I worked nights in Victorian England have I felt so gaslit. Booker T, you naughty boy. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you, bye.